Okay, grade 5, this is activity number 5 in our unit 3 book. This is the third book or the third part of our book. This is interacting Earth systems. We are still in concept 3.1, which is hydrosphere and biosphere interactions. This is activity number 5 at page 16 in your textbook. So let's start. It talks about food chains and food webs. Look at the image, watch the video, and as you watch, observe and note relationships and dependencies among organisms, then complete the activity. Do you remember this picture of the coral reef food web? It starts with the producers that are algae and the atoms. Then they are eaten by microscopic organisms like zooplankton and the other aquatic animals like sea urchin and clam. And the food chain goes on, or this is a food web, several food chains. The sea star eat the clam, then the butterfly fish eat the sea star, then the shark eats the butterfly fish. Also, the zooplankton is eaten by corals. Corals are eaten by parrotfish, triggerfish, and butterfly fish. Then all of these fish, they are eaten by a shark. This is a coral reef food web. And we have a video about a food chain. Let's watch it together. Then we will answer the questions. Pay attention, please.
In this program, we're going to learn about the food chain. What is a food chain? A food chain shows how each living thing gets food. To better understand how living things get energy, we use a food chain. A food chain shows the relationship between the plants and animals in an ecosystem. All living things need energy to grow, change, and move. All living things get energy from food. Different parts or links of the food chain include producers, consumers, and decomposers. Plants are producers because plants produce their own food. Plants use energy from the sun, carbon dioxide from the air, and water to produce glucose. This process is called photosynthesis. Animals are called consumers. Animals can't make their own food, so they need to consume or eat plants, animals, or both to get energy. There are 3 types of consumers. Herbivores eat only plants. Carnivores eat only meat. And omnivores eat both plants and animals. The last link or part of the food chain is decomposers. A decomposer recycles dead plants and animals. When plants and animals die, they become food for decomposers. An example of an animal decomposer is an earthworm. Earthworms eat dead plants and animals. The waste that earthworms leave behind is rich in nutrients. Nutrients help plants grow. Every habitat has its own food chain. In the grasslands, the food chain can begin with a plant like grass. Grass is the producer. The grass is eaten by a zebra, a consumer. The zebra is eaten by another consumer, a cheetah. When a cheetah dies, its body is eaten by decomposers. There are food chains in ocean habitats too. Some fish get energy from eating sea plants. Some fish get energy by eating other fish. The food chain is a full cycle of life and energy. Now that you better understand the food chain, think about this. What would happen if one link in the food chain were removed?
Okay, grade 5, can anyone answer this question? What would happen if one link in the food chain were removed? Okay, Jawad.
They will all die.
They will all die eventually, yes. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, grade 5. Jawad, turn off the microphone. Okay, thank you. So food chains and food webs. Now draw and upload a food chain or a food web based on similar plants and animals, such as those that might be in your classroom terrarium or found in a fictional text. So I need you to tell me, we need an example of a food chain. Tell us which organism is eaten by the second organism and so on. We need a simple example of a food chain. Hassan?
The grasshopper eats a grass. The
Great.
mouse eats a grasshopper. The
Great.
snake eats a mouse.
This
The
is
eagle
excellent.
eats a mouse. When the hog dies, it breaks down its body. The decomposed pig eats down its body.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Hassan. So it's a simple food chain that starts with grass, then grasshopper eats the grass, then a mouse eats the grasshopper, then a snake eats the mouse, then a hog eats the snake. And when the hog dies, this is the role of the decomposers. Excellent. Thank you. Now let's move to activity number 6. It says, what's in your schoolyard? In this investigation, you will explore your schoolyard, then you will list and categorize the living and the non-living objects that you find there. Okay, so in this graphic designer, we need you to tell us what are the spheres or what systems are found in your school according to Geosphere, Hydrosphere, Atmosphere, and the Biosphere. So what is the Geosphere that we can find in our school? Jasir, can you tell?
The playground.
The playground, yes, this is the ground, the land itself. It's a geosphere. Excellent, thank you. What about hydrosphere?
We have a swimming pool.
We have a swimming pool. We have the bottles of water. Excellent, thank you. Okay, then what about the atmosphere, Mustafa?
It is the oxygen.
This is the oxygen that we breathe, the air that is surrounding us. Excellent, thank you. Okay, then what about the biosphere, Mu'taz? Biosphere, what are the living things that we can find in our school?
Mister?
Yes, what are the living things that we can find in our school?
What about plants?
Plants, students, teachers. We might see some birds and some cats, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mu'taz. This is great. Okay, guys. Then let's go to the next part. What patterns do you see in your observations? We already saw the biosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. It's okay. Then, in what ways are the objects in each type of system necessary to sustain life? What is the importance of each system of these? Can anyone tell? What is the importance of the land, the water, the air, and the living things. What is the importance of water for living things?
Plants use water in making its food by photosynthesis.
Excellent. What is the
And we
importance of
drink
air and gases?
air. Without air, we will
You
die.
cannot breathe. Excellent. Thank you. This is great. Okay. Then, how would each of the objects you observed be affected if it rained? What will happen if it rained? What will happen to the biosphere if there is rain? What will happen to the lithosphere if there is rain? Can you think about this? Yes, Amr?
Erosion and the lake formation will happen.
Erosion and the lake formation will happen. Excellent, thank you. There will be humidity in the air as well. Excellent, guys. Now let's move to activity number 7. It says analyze like a scientist. Earth's systems. Read the text, then choose one of the systems and draw and upload a picture including living and or non-living things that make up the system. So in this case, we need only to read these paragraphs. Okay, so I need someone to read loud and be clear. Mustafa, the first paragraph, please.
Scientists have observed many living and non-living things on Earth. They use four major categories to describe categories to describe Earth
Subsystems. Yes.
One subsystems. One system is the geosphere. Geosphere.
Yes.
This system contains things like rock, minerals, soil, and even molten rocks inside Earth. Another system is the hydrosphere. They contains all water on Earth, such as the oceans, river, groundwater, and glaciers. The third system is the atmosphere. The atmosphere contains all the gases that surrounded Earth. We typically call these gases air. Air is a mixture of many kinds of gases. The last system is the biosphere. This contains biosphere.
Yes.
This contains all living organisms, including human, together. These four systems make up the Earth system.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mustafa. Okay, the next paragraph, Jasser.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, Jasser.
Scientists have found it useful to look at and study how these four different systems work together and interact. When
Yes.
the hydrosphere interacts with the geosphere, you have phem-
Erosion.
phenomena. You have phenomena such as erosion
Erosion.
and
Yes.
lake formation. When the atmosphere interacts with the biosphere, you see plants giving off water and gases as waste products. When the geosphere interacts with the biosphere, you find soil providing nutrients for plants. In each of these phenomena,
Yes.
there is an exchange of energy and matter.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. So this is like a reminder of what we studied in the summary in the first two PUs, right? The four systems, geosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere, then the interactions between them. Thank you, guys. This is great. Now let's go to activity number 8. Activity number 8 says observe like a scientist, the characteristics of the hydrosphere and biosphere. Watch the two videos, and as you watch, list the characteristics of each system in the graphic organizer. Then write as many statements as you can about hydrosphere and also the biosphere. Okay? So now let's watch the videos together. Please pay attention to this part. Then we will continue.
What are the characteristics of the biosphere? We said that the geosphere contains only non-living things. What about the living things of our planet? To what sphere do they belong? All living things belong to the biosphere. An easy way to remember this is to remember that the prefix bio comes from the Greek word for life. The Earth's biosphere extends from the deepest depths of the ocean to the highest reaches of our atmosphere. When we talk about the biosphere, we really mean anywhere on Earth organisms are found. Geoscientists describe the biosphere as being broken down into ecological communities called biomes. Biomes are regions of the world with similar climate, plants, and animals. Deserts, forests, rainforests, grasslands, and wetlands would all be examples of different types of biomes. Some biomes can even be seen from space. The areas that have lots of plant life are seen in shades of green, while biomes without much plant life are seen in shades of brown. Since life exists on the ground, in the air, and in the water, the biosphere overlaps and interacts with the other three spheres. Scientists believe that the Earth's biosphere has existed for about 3.5 billion years. It began with prokaryotes, which are organisms that can survive without oxygen. Changes in the Earth's atmosphere allowed them to evolve into the incredibly diverse collection of life forms we have on Earth today. Humans are part of the biosphere, and it is important to remember that human activity can significantly impact all four of the Earth's spheres. We will see exactly how in a little bit. Now we know about the basics of the biosphere. Let's review. Question 1. The prefix bio comes from a Greek word that means what? A. Life. B. Water. C. Earth. D. Ground.
Yes? Yes, sir?
Life.
Excellent. Bio means life. Thank you.
If you answered A, you know that the prefix bio comes from the Greek word for life. Question 2. What do we call regions of the world with similar climate, plants, and animals? A. Atmospheres. B. Habitats. C. Biomes. D. None of the above.
Okay. Jawad? Jawad? Turn on your microphone, Jawad. Okay, Hassan?
Our life means biosphere.
What?
It means our life.
This is question 2, Hassan.
Okay. Plants and animals. Biosphere.
There is no biosphere here. Thank you, Hassan.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, which one?
Biomes.
Biomes. Thank you.
The correct answer is C. Biomes are regions of the world with similar climate, plants, and animals. Question 3. For how many years has the Earth's biosphere existed? A. Fewer than 1 million years. B. About 10 million years. C. Nearly 1 billion years. D. About 3.5 billion years.
Can anyone remember this part? Hassan.
3.5 million years.
Excellent. 3.5 million years.
If you answered D, you know that the Earth's biosphere has existed for about 3.5 billion years.
Okay, guys, now let's move to the next video. This is about hydrosphere. Pay attention, please.
What is the hydrosphere? Another of Earth's spheres is the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere consists of all of the Earth's water in all of its forms. This means that the hydrosphere contains all of the liquid, solid, and gaseous water of our planet. When we think of the word hydrosphere, we can see that it begins with the prefix hydro, which comes from the Greek word that means water. Like all of the Earth's spheres, the hydrosphere is enormous. It extends from several miles inside the lithosphere upward to about 7.5 miles into the atmosphere. More than 70% of our planet is covered by water. So 70% of the Earth is part of the hydrosphere. 97% of that water is the salt water found in the Earth's 5 huge oceans. Although our 5 oceans are really one connected body of salt water, scientists have divided it into 5. The Pacific Ocean, which is the largest of the oceans, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. The hydrosphere also contains the salt water contained in smaller bodies of water that are surrounded by land, such as seas, bays, and gulfs. 3% of the water in the Earth's hydrosphere is fresh water. This fresh water begins as precipitation from the atmosphere. Some precipitation joins flowing water in rivers and streams. Some falls into lakes, which are bodies of fresh water that are completely surrounded by land. Some precipitation is absorbed into Earth and becomes groundwater. Groundwater is fresh water, which lies beneath the Earth's surface. When water can't go any further underground, it gets absorbed by a layer of porous rock called an aquifer. Aquifers store the water that supplies freshwater springs and wells. However, most of the fresh water in the Earth's hydrosphere isn't liquid running water. It is the frozen water found in massive pieces of ice, known as glaciers. Most of the world's glaciers are found in Antarctica and Greenland. But nearly every continent on Earth has glaciers, even Africa. In North America, many glaciers are found in Alaska. That state has more than 100,000 glaciers. These giant, slow-moving ice formations cover nearly 30,000 square miles of the state. That's an area larger than the entire state of West Virginia. What did we just learn about the Earth's hydrosphere? Let's review and find out. Question 1. How much of planet Earth is covered by water? A. 20%. B. 50%. C. 70%. D. 90%.
Yes. Jawad, can you answer this question? Jawad?
70%.
Excellent. This is 70%. Thank you very much. Turn off your microphone, please.
The correct answer is C. 70% of Earth is covered by water. Question 2. What do we call fresh water that lies beneath the Earth's surface? A. Groundwater. B. Lake. C. River. D. Spring.
Okay, Saleh and Shami. Saleh?
Yes, Mister.
Yes. The water that lies beneath the Earth's surface.
Groundwater.
Groundwater. Excellent. Thank you.
If you answered A, you know that groundwater is fresh water that lies beneath the Earth's surface. Question 3. What do we call massive pieces of slow-moving ice? A. Ice shelf. B. Ice flow. C. Glaciers. D. None of the above.
Okay. مشعل بندر. مشعل. Okay, Mustafa.
None of the glacier.
Glaciers. Thank you.
The correct answer is C. Glaciers are massive, slow-moving pieces of ice.
Okay, this is great.
What?
Now, can anyone describe the biosphere and the hydrosphere? From what we learned in the videos and from what we studied, what is the biosphere? Can anyone tell?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Biosphere is life, mean life,
Okay, continue.
and it is like it contain all living things like human
Excellent.
and
Thank you very
mean
much.
in Greek life.
That means in Greek, this is bio means life. Excellent. Thank you. Hassan, hydrosphere.
Means hydro means water.
Hydro means water. So, okay,
Contains
continue.
the air.
All
the
the
earth,
water
earth.
bodies on Earth. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, guys, now let's move to the next activity. This is activity number 9. Identify interactions. In this one, we will look at the images, then write the interactions that you see occurring in these pictures. The first picture here, this is a picture of water springs that spray water over plants, right? Okay, then the next picture, just a second. I'll share it with you now, all the pictures, or if you can see them in the book. Okay. Here are the pictures and what it describes. The second picture, this is a picture of a shrimp. Actually, this is a shrimp that swims in the water. The third picture, these are kids swimming in the water as well. The first picture in the second line, these ducks, they are going to swim in the water and also to find food from the water. These plants grow near the water because the plants need water as well. Then we have this part, these plants, and this is a frog sitting above this plant. The plants live in the water and also the frogs live near the water as well. Okay. Okay, then let's move to the next activity. This is activity number 10. It says hydrosphere or biosphere. I need you to pay attention, please. In this activity, we need to drag the observations to the correct column. The first one, salt water in the ocean. Mustafa, is it hydrosphere or biosphere? Salt water in the ocean.
Hydrosphere.
It's a hydrosphere. Excellent. Jasser, ants feasts on a sandwich.
Biosphere.
This is a
Biosphere.
biosphere. Thank you. Amr, a
Yes.
spring flows out from under a rock.
Hydrosphere.
This is hydrosphere. Excellent. Hassan, bees pollinate a flower.
Biosphere.
Biosphere. Excellent. Mustafa, water evaporates from a pond.
Hydrosphere.
Hydrosphere. Excellent. Amr. An iceberg breaks off from its glacier.
Hydrosphere.
This is a hydrosphere. Okay. Jasser, a hawk spots its prey.
Biosphere.
Biosphere. This is great. Okay. Jawad, a frog lays eggs. Jawad, turn on your microphone. Yeah. Yes, a frog lays its eggs. Is it hydrosphere or biosphere?
Hydrosphere.
Look, a frog lays its eggs. We are talking about a frog.
Biosphere.
Biosphere, excellent. Thank you. Thank you guys, I'm really so proud of you. So today we finished the activities from activity number 5 to activity number 10. These are from the page number 16 to the page number 25. Okay, and we will complete in the next session. Thank you all. Thank you guys very much.